Good evening, Alan. How are you? I'm here with your lovely daughter, Jenna, and we are working on some questions with fractions. Now, she came in and asked me the question, is negative 3/5? She wanted to know, is that positive 3/5 or negative 3/5? The actual answer is it is a negative 3/5. So if you're thinking about it as decimals, just one second, I got my phone ringing. Sorry about that. My phone is, I answered call, prank call. So it is a negative 3/5. So we're thinking about it, you might want to think of it as a decimal. So if you think, what is let me get my marker, 3/5 as an equivalent fraction instead of 10, it's 6. So we have negative 3/5 is equals negative 6/10, which this is negative 6/10, and this is negative 6/10. So really, if we were to change it to a decimal, I could look at negative 3/5 in its decimal form as being negative 6/10. Take away 2/3, which is 0.6 repeating. Okay. Now the way we usually think about subtraction is we usually like to think of it, because integers are very difficult for kids to think about. We usually say always change subtraction to addition and use the inverse of the next one. Since this is a positive 6/10, we're going to use a negative, negative 0.6 repeating. So now we have an adding of this amount and this amount. They're both negative, so we really have 0.60000 plus negative 0.66666. If I was to take a calculator and explore what that looks like, I can go decimal 6 plus decimal, oh, it's not writing, is it? Oops, daisy. Sorry, Alice is not very good. So decimal 6 plus decimal 6666666, that's close enough, equals 1.26 repeating. Okay, so when we add those two together, we get 1.26 repeating, and that's a negative, because a negative plus a negative is still a negative. Now let's go back and look at it in fraction form. Fractions actually turn out to be much easier when we're not dealing with repeating decimals, and we find out that it's much easier to work with. So let's look at how we would do this. So again, if we consider that to be a negative, we're going to make the equivalent fractions with 15 as my common denominator. I multiply this by 3, so I multiply this by 3. I get negative 9 at the top. Those two fractions are equivalent. They both equal decimal 6. And if I multiply this by 5 and this by 5, I get 10/15. Now this is the step I want everyone to use. So I want to say, okay, the rule is subtract the tops and keep the denominator the same. So I want to see this step. This is important, because it allows you to see what the answer is going to be. So I change it to addition, use the opposite. So it's now subtracting a positive 10 is like adding a negative 10. So negative 9 plus negative 10 is negative 19 over 15, which is okay for an answer. Or you can change it back to negative 1 and 4/15, which if we explored it as a decimal, we would see that it's still that number there. 1 and 4/15 is actually 1.26 repeating. So because 4 divided by 15 equals 0.26 repeating. Okay. Alan, I hope that helped you. If you have any more questions, be sure to ask, and I will show you the answer.